Hello, hello. Welcome along to another Chris McPherson show. Watch along. This one's going to be a little bit different. We were going to do a live series preview or a series preview a little bit earlier in the week. Uh, Different commitments have meant we haven't been able to get that done. So we thought, why not kick off? We'll tune in for the first hour or so of play, watch the power play, get things underway, do a bit of a series preview, talk through it with you. So make sure to get involved in the comments. Let us know what you're tuning in for and where you're tuning in from, obviously. So yeah, looking forward to it. India versus New Zealand, 1-day series, and this series is going to be an interesting one. So no tests in this series on this tour of New Zealand's tour of India. They've got 3 1-dayers. They're going to play today, Wednesday, and then Sunday. So 3 games in 8 days. And then it'll be on to the T20s. And we'll bring you recaps and previews of each of the games where we can, trying to keep you up to date with little videos. Won't be as many live watch-alongs. We might try and pop in for some bits of the games, especially the one-dayer starts, if it makes sense for the schedules. But just remembering that trying to do a live watch-along for a full one-day international is quite a commitment, so that won't quite be for us. But either way, just trying something a little bit different, so let us know what your thoughts are. But again, it's a big series. As I said, 5 T20s. It all wraps up the last of the T20s on the 1st of February. So this is going to run over 3 weeks with the 3 1-days and 5 T20s. So plenty of additional cricket action to watch as we lead up to the T20 World Cup as well. So let's have a look through. And again, this one's going to be focused on the 1-day series. And the first 1-day is about to get underway. India have won the toss and elected to field. So just have an adjustment of a few of our monitors here. That's a little bit better. That makes more sense. So it'll be Devon Conway and Henry Nicholls to open the batting for New Zealand. A big turnout here in Vadodara. And we're set for the first ball. As I said, we'll do a little bit of a preview through the series through this first couple of overs. Excuse me, as we roll on through. So the BCCI Stadium in Vadodara, sorry. The pronunciation's probably butchered there, but apologies to any of our Indian fans if you want to let us know and tell us what a better pronunciation might be. But we are about to get underway. It'll be Mohammad Siraj to open the bowling for India. As I said, New Zealand have brought a all-rounder heavy lineup here as he's in, delivers, pushed out into the offside, short cover fields it from the drive from Conway. It was a half-blooded drive on the first delivery. It was coming across Conway. New Zealand are all-rounder heavy squad for this. Named a 15-man squad. Conway and Mitchell Hay, the 2 wicket-keeping options. Hay will be the wicket-keeper in this game. They've got Nick Kelly, Henry Nicholls and Will Young. Nicholls and Young, very well known to most cricket fans. This time he pushes it down to the leg side. There's a man at mid-on. So 2 dot balls to start. Let's get these sorted out for the scoreboard for you. Hey, Brett, can New Zealand win? Well, they can. They'll definitely be the outsiders here, but I certainly think they're in with a chance. They've got a pretty good record. They're 5+ undefeated in a row. They had a great series against the English. So the Kiwis are on the improve. The Indians are a pretty stacked lineup as well. So let's run through the lineup for this game, then we'll get back to the squad. So it'll be Conway, Nicholls, Young, the top 3. The all-rounder in Daryl Mitchell at 4. You then have Glenn Phillips at 5, so good batting. Hay at 6. The captain, Bracewell at 7. Folkes at 8. Kyle Clark at 9. Jamison at 10. And then Adithai Ashok, the leg break bowler, at 11. Another dot ball there. done there? We've added an over. We don't want to do that. Not sure why that's going that way about it, but anyway. I might just get rid of that, actually. Just leave that side blank with the bowling. Bit hard to manage. There we go. That's a little better. This one just pushed off the legs. Oh, a little fumble by the man at square leg, and they'll rush through for a single, the first run of the match. Conway 1 off 5. And Nichols will be on strike for the final ball of Siraj's first over. Good to see you crossing codes, Brett. That's nice to have you on board. Siraj coming in, final ball of the over. Lots of things updated on the scoreboard, keep it all moving. Siraj into Nichols. Comes in, just defended straight back to the bowler. He picks it up with his right hand mid-pitch. New Zealand, I think there's a little bit of value there about them, Brett, if you want to have a sniff at $5.40. Again, I would have had this sort of more a $3 shot. So anyway, it's an interesting time. So yeah, just running through that squad for New Zealand for this series. So the players not playing today. Nick Kelly, the top order batsman, left-handed bat. Josh Clarkson, the batting all-rounder. And then it was Christian Clark too, not Kyle Clark, my mistake, the right-arm medium bowler. Jaden Lennox and Michael Ray, neither of those guys playing in this one. So Ashok's going to do a lot of the spin bowling for New Zealand in this one-day squad. And then for India, as you'd expect, just have a look and see. It'll be Harshit Rana, though, to open the bowling at the other end. He's going to come into Conway. And he comes, just left well outside the off stump, just inside the tram tracks. Good wide full delivery. I was saying the India lineup for today's game: Shubman Gill, Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, Gill captaining the side, Shreyas Iyer, KL Rahul will be the man with the gloves. Ravindra Jadeja will bat. He's listed to bat at 6. Washington Sundar at 7. Harshit Rana at 8. Kuldeep Yadav at 9. Mohammad Siraj at 10. And Prasidh Krishna at 11. So it's a pretty full lineup. The other players in the squad, Jaiswal is another batting option. Wicket-keeping options will be Dhruv Jurel and Rishabh Pant. But Rishabh Pant, I believe, is a late withdrawal, so he won't be in action. And they've got 2 of their all-rounders in play in Jadeja and Sundar. And Nitish Kumar Reddy will be the other batting all-rounder. But with the batting lineup they've got, they're probably not looking to too much more batting. In, pushed out, fine on the offside. And they'll just come back for a single as third man sweeps around. And Conway moves to 2. And then in terms of the bowlers, Rana, Yadav, Siraj, and Krishna all in for this game. So Yadav will obviously be the top choice spin option. Arshdeep Singh, the man sitting on the sidelines in terms of that bowling lineup. So 2 very talented squads, probably a little more experience. Well, not probably, definitely a little more experience in the Indian squad, and they're favourites. But I think in terms of having a look at this series, 3 one-dayers, I think New Zealand are every chance of getting at least 1 win. If not, maybe 2. We'll have a look. But yeah, I think they're right in this. And it's, again, India are going to be focused. It is home conditions, but they're going to be focused as Harshit Rana comes in again. Just left outside the off stump by Nichols. Fuller delivery. I think India will have a bit of a focus on the T20 World Cup here that's coming in February. So there's a chance for New Zealand to spring a bit of an upset here, especially in this first game, I think. There's some serious cracks in the pitch, so some of their pace bowlers will enjoy this. It'll be interesting to see how they deal with the dew later on, with it being a day-nighter. All 3 games are day-nighters. But certainly looking forward to it. So we'll see what comes of it. But again, if you're jumping on for the first time, let us know where you're tuning in from, what you're keeping an eye on here. As Rana's in again. It's prodded away outside the off stump by Nichols. Still yet to get off the mark. Manually running some of these scoreboards, guys, so apologies if it's a little clunky and slow. If I miss some things, I'll try and keep you as up to date as I can. As I said, just doing a bit of a series preview, and then we'll watch the first 12 to 15 overs just for the watch along tonight. And then we'll be back tomorrow to recap it. Just not feasible to try and hold through. I like that, Brett. Our Trans-Tasman brethren, let's get behind them. Last ball of the second over here. Harshit Rana coming in to Nichols, and he just drives it back down. One-handed bounce. Rana shapes to throw down the batsman's stumps. It'll be another dot ball. A very good start for the Indians. Just 1 run from each of the opening overs. Conway 2 from 8. Nichols none from 4. It's a very heavy blue crowd, unsurprisingly, here in India. The BCCI Katambi Stadium in Vadodara. It's one of the new stadiums. The home of the Baroda Cricket Association. That's what the BCCI is for. They started building this in 2008, opened in 2024. Siraj in again, this time to Conway, plays down nice and straight. They'll scurry through, take on mid-off and get a single. Conway moves to 3. India moved to 3 as well. New Zealand moved to 3 as well. Helps you get the right team. 2.1 overs gone. A little surprised that New Zealand have not picked Rachin Ravindra for this series. So, again, I think both sides sort of looking at what they can do for the T20 series as well. And we'll pull that apart a little bit more in depth. Ravindra will play in that squad, I'm pretty sure, as will, I think, Jimmy Neesham's in there, Bevan Jacobs, Mark Chapman. So it'll be a little bit of a different looking squad. So we're seeing some guys getting a little bit of time here, and there'll be a few that'll overlap, the likes of Mitchell and maybe Folkes, Devon Conway, quite clearly. Michael Bracewell as well. I think Santner will probably captain that side, their T20 side. So I think both sides will have a few different looking lineups when it comes to the T20, but great to see the action nonetheless. Dot ball from Siraj. Nichols still yet to get off the mark. Siraj in, third ball of the over. Defended out onto the offside. Another dot ball. Very watchful so far, New Zealand. So just looking and the experience of these two sides. The Indian squad has played nearly 1,300 one-days between them. Very inexperienced New Zealand side. Fresh, full of youth, 354. No one in the New Zealand side taking a 5-wicket haul in a one-day. So their batting, I think, stacks up well. Their bowling is where they're going to need to step up. But I think they've got some talent there. It'll be about how India take on their spin, I think, very much so in this series. Pushed out onto the offside. The sweeping man from mid-off comes round and picks it up. Another dot ball. It's going to be an interesting time here. Henry Nichols just struggling to get off the mark, but plenty of experience. All 4 of their top 4 batters in their early 30s. Kyle Jamieson will be the experienced man with the ball, alongside the spin of the captain, Michael Bracewell. You've got the likes of Daryl Mitchell and Glenn Phillips that can do a little bit with the ball as well. We'll see what we can get from Christian Clark and Zach Folkes. Christian Clark's just in his second game, I think. And then Ashok as well, Adithaya Ashok. It's 23, the young spinner. He's only played about 3 games. I think they've probably got 4 players in this side with 10 or less caps. So certainly going to be interesting to see what they can deliver. Prodded away onto the offside here, just defensively again from Nichols. He's very watchful early. So, yeah, so I'm certainly thinking a 2-1 series result to India here, but I wouldn't be surprised, as I said before to Brett. I think those sort of $5 odds, New Zealand are value. If you can get that around each of the matches, I'd certainly be pretty happy to take it on all of them. They win one and you walk out in front. So we'll see how we go. I might call it quits if it's his first game. They get the job done in. 3 for none, New Zealand after 2.5. Very steady start. Siraj in. Nichols scoops that off his legs. It's going to trickle away. It's going to be a foot race to the rope, but the ball will win by a few metres. The fielder sweeping around from fine leg. Cannot get there. Wasn't exactly textbook, but it gets him off the mark nonetheless and ends the 3rd over. Nichols gets the first boundary of the match. He's 4 from 9 deliveries. Conway 3 from 9. And at the end of the 3rd over, 7 for none. Yeah, I think youthful exuberance might get New Zealand across the line in one of these. We'll wait and see. So, a bit of experience with a bit of youthful exuberance can be a very handy combination. Great to have you all tuning in. If you haven't already, make sure to hit like on the video. Get involved in the comments as well, like Brett has. Great to have you tuning in. Start of the one-day international series between India and New Zealand. 3 matches between these two sides. And then it'll be into a T20 series, which will then lead them perfectly into the T20 World Cup. Harshit Rana coming in to Conway. Conway bat raised. Rana well outside the off stump and just watchfully left by Conway. He's now faced 10 deliveries. So these 3 games, the first will be here in Vadodara. The next one will be in Rajkot on Wednesday night Australian time, Wednesday India time. And then on next Sunday again, it'll be India and New Zealand in the 3rd game in Indore. See what comes of it. Great to have those of you tuning in. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Give the video a like. Get involved in the comments. We'd love it if you hit subscribe as well. Rana in again. Second delivery is over to Conway. Short ball. Just watched sail over his shoulder, and it's going to be a wide. A little extra to the totals there. And you move on to 8 for none. Conway didn't even bat an eyelid at that one. Rana in again. 3rd delivery, but the 2nd legal one, we would assume. Fuller delivery, driven fine. The man at Gully stops that. Another dot ball. Conway remains 3 now from 11 deliveries. A slow start for the Kiwis. Harshit Rana. He comes again. Straight, full delivery and driven gloriously straight back down inside of mid-on for a boundary. New Zealand move into double figures. They're 12 for none. Conway skips ahead to 7. Beautifully struck. A little too full, a little too straight. He's right in the zone there, and he's played it down just inside the man at mid-on. Rana comes in for the 4th delivery of this over. Top of his mark. Rana in, delivers. This one, feathered at outside the off stump. He didn't get a piece of it. He thought for a moment maybe Rana had struck straight back after the boundary. It's that loose shot outside the off stump. Fortunately, didn't get any part of the ball. You see it here on the replay. Beautiful seam up movement. Just gets a little bit back off the pitch. Conway reaching well outside his off stump, probably to 6th, 7th stump line after it moved away off the surface. He has an air swing. That'll fill the bowler with plenty of confidence. Comes in now. 2 deliveries legal to come in the over. Releases prodded onto the offside. They'll scurry through. It's just to the right of the man at forward point. Conway will take another single. 8 from 14 for him. Nichols on strike for the final delivery of the over. New Zealand to skip up to 13. Good to have you all tuning in. Let us know where you're watching from. Got some New Zealand cheer going at the moment. Let us know your thoughts on the series all in all and just cricket in general. The Aussies basking in the glow of their series win. We've got the third T20 for the Sri Lanka-Pakistan series going on tonight as well. There's plenty to talk about cricket-wise. WPL, the Big Bash. It's all happening. Dot ball to finish. So Nichols 4 from 10. Conway 8 from 14. New Zealand 13 for none after 4. Expect to be Mohammad Siraj to continue. I'm saying Pakistan will play out their third T20 against Sri Lanka. The second T20 was abandoned 2 days ago. The first T20 Pakistan won, chasing down 129 with about 6 wickets to spare and 3 and a bit overs from memory. Shadab Khan did well. Salman Mirza as well. Janeth Leonage was the leading run scorer for Sri Lanka, getting 40 in there, 128, which they were bowled out with 4 deliveries to go. Salman Mirza 3 for 18. Abra Ahmed 3 for 25 and Shadab Khan 2 for 25. Muhammad was in though 2 for 7 from 2.2. Siraj comes in, watchfully seen away outside the off stump from Conway. Score remains 13 for none. And for Pakistan, as I said, they got off to a flying start. 1 for 59 at the fall of the first wicket after 5.5 overs. Salman Agar came in and watched Farhan go wild. Farhan storming to a score of 51 before falling with the job almost done. 3 for 101 at 11.5 overs. Then Shadab Khan came out 18 from 12, fresh off his spell in the Big Bash. Driven here, beautifully placed through the inner ring, and that's going to carve away just forward of point for 4 runs for Devon Conway. New Zealand moves on to 17 for none. The shots are coming a little more fluently now. Conway into double digits, up to 12 from 16. 2 boundaries. Just placement there. Not overhit. Small gap between point and cover. And through just closer to point. But neither of them really had a chance to react. No sweeper there during the power play. And comes Siraj again, and wide again this time, though. He picks out the man at gully. Foot either side, and he might have carved that for a back-to-back boundaries. First ODI, India and New Zealand, coming to you here from the BCCI ground in Vadodara. Mohammad Siraj in again. Vadodara in Gujarat. In comes Siraj. Just prodded outside the off stump. A little slower, that one. And again, picked up by the man at Gully for another dot. Conway 12 from 18. Gujarat in the central west of India. And Vadodara, one of the more easterly cities in Gujarat. This one's driven. It's going to be driven straight to the man at mid-off. Oh, that's dot ball. Come back from the forwardest. Runs from one delivery in this over. One delivery to come. Mohammad Siraj's third over. Siraj economical. None for 10 from 2.5 so far. Devon Conway surveying the field. Siraj in at the top of his mark. Comes in. Ready to go. Siraj in delivers. Conway defending. Plugs back to the bowler, and that'll close out the fifth over. New Zealand 17 for none. Conway 12 from 20 deliveries. He's faced the majority of the strikes so far. Henry Nicholls 4 from 10. Both players have centuries to their name. Conway in just 41 matches has scored 1,600 runs at an average of 45.19. High score of 152 not out. So, quite the talented batsman, Devon Conway. Nicholls, double the experience, 82 games. Lower average, but still just shy of 35. Ashit Rana will now come back on for his third over. One of the greener players in the Indian squad when it comes to one-day internationals. Just his 13th match. Rana in. Nice ball, just tightens up Nicholls for space. Another dot delivery as it's defended out onto the onside. Good to have you all tuning in. Let us know where you're watching from. Get involved in the comments. We'd love it if you gave the video a like or hit subscribe. There's plenty more cricket content coming your way. We'll have a recap of this tomorrow. We'll also recap and wrap up that whole series between Pakistan and Sri Lanka. It'll be all of 2 games in their 3-match T20 international series. It's a Pakistan side that does not have Babar Azam in action. He's in the Big Bash playing for Sydney Sixers. This one wide outside, carved and dropped. It was just floated out into the outfield, and the man at deep backward point, Kuldeep Yadav, came in and it should have been a regulation catch. And instead, Henry Nicholls gets away with a single where there wasn't one to be found. India should have had their first wicket. Let's have a look at the replay. Short of a length. Should have been dealt with a lot better. And he just tried to run this down to the man in the outfield. He was a little in and he just came in at it a bit too hard. Hard hands. And it parried out of his gloves. His mitts, I should say. He doesn't have gloves, obviously. And that will be just a single. And New Zealand get a lifeline. Yeah, they've got some power in the middle order, but if these two go at this rate for too long, Brett, that's going to be the challenge. That one's a great delivery, squared up, but they're going to scurry through for a single. They can get down to the likes of your Daryl Mitchells and co. They can really up this run rate. New Zealand can be known to slow start and, again, take that lifeline if he will, Henry Nicholls. So hard with the one-day format. They don't play a lot of it these days, the sides. Conway did well there just to pick that up and punch it to mid-off and take the single. Henry Nicholls calling for new gloves. And he's going to face Ashit Rana now. Rana, good length ball. And again, they just drop and run this down to mid-off. Easy single in the end for Nicholls. He moves up to 6. New Zealand none for 20 after 5.4. Going to put the pressure on the fielders here. pretty poor throw in the end as well, but I think he was home no matter what. Just a little scoop throw. Not a traditional pick up and fire. Conway on strike. Harshit Rana comes in. Delivers. Conway onto one leg, pulls it round the corner, nice and fine. He'll beat the diving fielder for 4 more runs. I think they're starting to build into their work now, the Kiwis. Conway moves to 17. It's a beautiful stroke. He just picked up that it was a little straight, a little short, and just didn't overhit it, got over the top of it and ran it down through fine leg for a boundary. As a man forward of fine leg, he was more of a backward, deep backward square leg. He couldn't get there. You just need these partnerships to build, Brett. If they can build good partnerships, New Zealand and the Indians don't get the early breakthroughs, that's when they can go on with things. Final ball of the over. Conway just drives this down, a really aggressive defensive drive back to the man at mid-off. And that will be the end of the over. 6 overs gone. Conway 17 from 23. Nichols 6 from 13. Score looking a little more respectable at none for 24. They've got that run rate up to 4. We're about halfway through our window of our stream. As I said, we'll be back with plenty more cricket content over the coming days. We'll have some more Big Bash updates. We'll be talking about these series as well. And then we'll be keeping up to date with what's happening across the wrap-up of the Big Bash, as well as our regular basketball watch-alongs. Plenty of other content as well. We're recapping and talking about these ODIs after each of them, the takeaways. We'll have the Under-19s World Cup getting underway soon too. First Australian game, I think, in the early hours, the 17th of January, so next Saturday. And we'll also try and have a look at doing an Under-19 World Cup preview this week. So lots of cricket happening. As that one's just defended away from Siraj by Nichols. He thinks about a run, but it's not there. We've got plenty of tennis action coming for you. Plenty of other sport as well. Basketball, tennis, cricket. You find it all here at the Chris Mack Show. The best way to do so is to hit subscribe down below. Get involved in the comments too. Don't be shy, guys. Always happy to have everyone getting in for a chat. Let us know where you're watching from. Be here for the first hour or so. Interesting to see a short point in here to Nichols. He steps across the off stump, paddles it around the corner. There's a man out there at deep backward square leg. He'll keep it to a single. Another run to the tally for New Zealand. Siraj bowling a tight line, and he'll be watching for that man moving around now, Nichols. To 7 from 15. New Zealand none for 25 from 6.2 overs. G'day, Harry. Coming in for a bit of cricket content as well, mate. Good to see you. As always, guys, make sure to hit like and subscribe. Get involved in these comments. Say hello. Who are you liking, Harry? New Zealand or India? Who's going to get the win? Surprised your man Jay's not here, Harry. He's all about the cricket. You just wrapped up watching the Jets, I'm assuming, Harry. Newcastle Jets in the Australian A-League. India will come back. There's a long way to come. I think they're on top at the moment, to be fair. Another dot delivery. Conway 17 from 24 now. India have been putting a lot just outside that 4th, the 5th stump line. Siraj has probably been a little more on the legs than Harshit Rana so far. Rana's been quite good. Siraj in now. 4th delivery of his 4th over. Driving, beats the man at short point. does Nick Conway, but can't beat the man at cover. Picks him out. Another dot. Conway, 17 from 25. New Zealand, none for 25. 6.4 overs gone. So, yeah, I think this is very much going to be the key matchup here is the early wickets. I have a bit of scoring power, but again, they're not at full tilt today. So that's why I thought at $5, Brett, they're a little bit of value. And that's the thing. It's never a guaranteed rate. Conway this time finds the gap, just feathers it through between the man at mid-off and the man coming around at cover, and somehow finds the most minuscule of gaps to drive another 4. New Zealand move on to 29. They just need to keep finding that boundary and over to keep things ticking along at the moment. And Conway's the man for it so far. One ball to come in the over from Siraj to Conway. Shorter. He tries to drop it and run, but that man at a short point, almost a silly point, will stop the run. So 7 overs gone. New Zealand 29 for none. Run rate just over 4. Not disastrous just yet. Harry, if you're still there, I'm sure you're a happy camper after that Jets win. Your man Lockie Rose getting a goal. I'm looking forward to seeing a bit of Zach Folkes later on. He's played a few tests now, a few one-dayers. Haven't quite seen the best of him yet. Got a list day average of almost 30 with the bat and 25 with the ball. So it might be a little secret weapon up the sleeve of the Kiwis. Now Harshit Rana to continue for the 8th over. 3 overs to come in this first power play. But when you talk about that scoring power, Brett, obviously you're talking, those men, Gill, Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, Shreyas Iyer, no Surya Kumar Yadav, no Tilak Varma. Ushered in, prodded out to the man at point by Nichols. Another dot. Pitches played some just minor moments and movement off the surface. Great to have you all with us. Make sure to hit like on the video, get involved in the comments, hit subscribe. Let us know what you're taking away from the match so far. As I said, I'm predicting a 2-1 series. So if you get that $5-ish mark around New Zealand in each of the games, I think that's where there's some value at the moment. I think they're probably about a 30 to 35% chance of winning any respective game in this series at the moment. This is paddled around the corner from Nichols, beats the man at a slightly forward short square leg and trickles all the way down for 4 runs. A second boundary for Henry Nichols. 6th boundary for the Kiwis. Nichols moves into double digits finally. He's 11 from 17. Conway 21 from 27. Gets their strike rates up a little bit. The Kiwis 33 for none from 7.3 overs. Sorry, 7.2 overs. This is 7.3 coming. And this time it's just prodded out to the man at point again. Happy to play through that region is Henry Nichols. So we'll be 33 for none off 7.3. Harshit Rana, none for 18 from 3.3. Did have Nichols dropped on 4. Regulation catch from Kuldeep Yadav. Will that come back to bite the Kiwis? Sorry, the Indians. Until I'm a little sleep deprived at the moment. We'll wait and see. It's an experienced Indian side. Rana in for the 4th delivery. Just pushed off the legs. The man at mid-on will come racing around and try and keep them to 1. No, they'll come back for 2. I think that's the first 2 of the match. Nichols moves to 13. That's some better cricket. From 19 now deliveries. 7.4 overs gone. Looking a little more fluid. They've got to capitalise on the last 14 deliveries of this power play. Ideally try and get themselves up closer to 50. Virana in again. Delivers. Nichols feathers it and is caught behind. But it's been called as a wide. Umpire says no bat on that. The short ball is going well down leg. Will they review? We'll chalk the run up for now. Look close to the bat. India have decided against reviewing it, so it will just be a wide. That helps. Let's have a look at the replay here. Rana in. Quite a short ball. Going well down leg, and no, it would have gone over the glove, but it misses the glove by a few inches. It's a muted appeal by Rahul. We'll just have a look at the ultra edge. Nothing coming up there. Umpire nails that one. Extra run for New Zealand. Every little bit counts. That's what you want to see there, Brett. None for 36. 7.4 overs going. Rana in again. This one a better length and just moves in off the seam. Cramps Nichols for room. One to come in the over. I'll close out the 8th over here. From Val Dadara. Get through this power play and maybe another over or 2 after that before we close things out. Now the question, will it be Mohammad Siraj to continue for a 5th straight over? Oh, sorry, Rana will still have one more. Of course, because there was the wide. And he comes. Pushed onto the legs. Pushed around the corner, and there's a man at short fine leg that will prevent any run being taken. Good over for New Zealand. 7 from it. It's 19 from the last 3 overs. They've picked that up in the last 3 after a very slow start. Devon Conway, 21 from 27. Henry Nichols, 13 from 21 now. Run rate's up to 4.5. They will have a change of bowling. It'll be Washington Sundar to come on, bowling his spin. Good spell from Siraj to open. None for 15 from his opening 4. So let's see, Washington Sundar coming on. Sundar to Conway. Tall off-break bowler coming in from the south end. 29 matches, 29 wickets at an average of 28. Conway pushes it out. As the Doosra to start. And from long off comes in to pick that up. Keeps him to a single. Conway moves to 22. Good to have you all tuning in, guys. If you haven't already, we'd love it if you hit like on the video. Get involved in the comments. Let us know where you're watching from, who you're cheering for. And if you're enjoying it, hit subscribe as well. Plenty more cricket content coming over the coming weeks with plenty of cricket happening. We're back to recap this game tomorrow. Dot ball there. Just prodded out onto the leg side watchfully by Nichols. 13 from 22 for Henry. Sundar now comes into Nichols. Nichols advances 2 steps, lofts it down towards the boundary, but it's parried down by the man coming around from a wide mid-off, and they'll come back for 2. Nichols moves to 15 from 23. New Zealand move on to 39 for none. And a couple of siders, and then just decided to dance down and pop him out there. No one short. Fielder coming around, did well just to parry it in front. 2 men outside, a deep backward square leg and a wide mid-off. Sundar again. Nichols pinned back in his crease this time, a fuller delivery. No run to be had there. Nichols remains 15 from now 24 deliveries. Run rate still at 4.5. 8 legal deliveries to come in the power play. Nichols prods this one down to the man at long off. It'll trickle down. He'll come in from the boundary and pick it up and keep them to a single. They move to 40 now, New Zealand. 7 deliveries remaining in the power play. Nichols 16 off 25. Here at the Baroda Cricket Association ground in Vadodara. Last ball, Sundar's first over. Big air swing over the top of it from Conway. He missed it by quite a distance. Didn't get as much bounce. So they remain none for 40 off their 9 overs. Conway 22 from 29. Nichols 16 from 25. One over left in the first power play. As I said, plenty of cricket coming. The Under-19 World Cup's not far away. T20 World Cup starts in February. We've got this series. We've got the wrap-up of the Sri Lanka and Pakistan series. West Indies and South Africa will be underway soon. We'll be talking about plenty of the action. It's your home to stay up to date with plenty of it. Have an update on our Big Bash Impact Players of the Year. As Prashid comes in. Nice ball squaring up Nichols. To start. Prashid Krishna. 22 matches, best bowling of 4 for 12, an average of 26.8. 37 wickets from his 22 games. One day is 29 years of age. In again to Nichols. Good length of delivery. Nichols can only just square it around to the man. A short mid-wicket. Short mid-wicket. Tongue tangled there. 9.2 overs gone. None for 40. Should hit like on the video. Get involved in the comments. We'll be here with you for another 10 to 15 minutes or so. Now Nichols steps across, just paddles it over the man at short, fine legs head. That's a little bit more inventive, a little bit more clinical from New Zealand. And Henry Nichols finds the rope for the 3rd time today and moves himself to 20 from 28 deliveries. New Zealand 44 for none from 9.3. I saw it was tracked a little straighter. He premeditated it somewhat as well. Just paddled over that man at short, fine leg. Virat Kohli thought there was a chance for a half second, the former captain. In again, Krishna pushed out, this time behind the man at backward point. The 3rd man sweeper gets it. Just be a single. Nichols now moves up to 21 from 29. Both batsmen have faced 29 deliveries. Conway 22, Nichols 21. 2 to come in the power play. And none for 45. 45 for none for the rest of the world, not in the Australian score lines. Keys are going to be, can India's bowlers get the breakthroughs? Or will it be New Zealand's batting lineup that will have enough resilience to allow their middle order to flourish in these games? Or if India bat first, are they just going to have too much power and put on too much of a chase for India to chase down? This one paddled around the corner nicely by Conway. It'll be a race. The diving fielder can't get there. Very fine. And that'll be 4 runs. They'll move to 49 for none. Conway up to 26 from his 30 deliveries. I said they need to be at around that 50 mark at the end of the power play, and a good last few overs has allowed that. 9 already here with 1 delivery to come. Krishna will look to just finish this power play off with a dot ball. Certainly, India's experience should win this series out. But as I said, I think a little bit of youthful exuberance from this New Zealand batting lineup and some of their bowlers could get them in the right place, so long as the platform can be set and they don't strangle themselves. The dot ball now to finish the power play. And none for 49 at the end of the power play are New Zealand. 26 for Conway from 31, 21 from Nicholls, 2 extras. Solid platform's been laid. They just need to make sure they can accelerate from here. It looked a little dire early on. 8 boundaries. So just the 2 extras, 2 wides. But it's a good platform. Reasonably even after that. I'd say probably slight advantage to New Zealand. Purely because they haven't lost a wicket just yet. But they need to capitalise on that advantage. Wait and see what comes from here. So it'll be Washington Sundar coming in again with the off-break bowling. Resetting his field. Got a long on. Deep backward square leg. A wide long off. And a deep point. Ring fielders, we've got a man at fine leg. Come back to that. Defended out. Sundar nearly fields it himself, but it will be a single to Nicholls. I'll bring up the 50 for New Zealand. 10.1 overs gone. Nicholls to 22. 30 deliveries. We have a spread field inside the ring. Let's see what they set for Conway now. It'll be the same field against Sundar. Run rate almost up to 5. Sundar in again. This time to Conway. Conway just prods it back to the bowler. Conway stays on 26. It's a nice drifted straightish delivery on middle and off. And again, Conway gets back on the back foot and drives it just straighter than the man at short mid-wicket. Sorry, that'll be a short extra cover. Gets a single. Getting my leg and on sides mixed up. Conway moves to 27 from 33. Sundar look to try and keep the pressure on here. Nicholls back on strike. Sundar in. Fires it wide of the off stump, and Nicholls just picks out the man at short point. I'll be happy to keeping that run rate around the going at 3 to 4 and over here. In again, fires this one a little straighter and she's pushed onto the leg side. They'll happily trot through for a single. Don't even contemplate the second as the man comes in from long on. Nicholls to 23. The score moves on another run for New Zealand. They are 52 for none with 1 ball to come in the 11th. Evan Conway has been finding the middle reasonably well so far. What can he come with now? Into Conway is Sundar. This one floated outside the off stump. He finds the gap in the ring and the man at deep point comes round to pick it up. And that will end the 11th. 53 for none. 4 from the over. Conway 28 from 34. Nicholls 23 from 32. And we keep on keeping on here. It's a little bit of an arm wrestle. As I said, the men to watch for in this batting lineup. Daryl Mitchell averaging 53.1. Glenn Phillips at 39.7. And then Hay, an average of 41.5. Bracewell even batting at 7, an average of 36.5. Got some punch there if they can all capitalise. Even Will Young with an average of 36 at 3. I need someone to go big here. I think my man and backing would be either Mitchell or Phillips to go big in this one. And they're going to need to put on probably an 80 to 100 if they're really going to be competitive here. Rashid's in again, carved outside the off stump, but picks out the fielder at gully. So this is just the second. Sorry, this is the first one-day international here at Katabi Stadium in the men's competition. So hard to really judge what a par total is. Rashid in again and just feathered fine through fourth slip by Conway. Moves on to 29 now from 36 deliveries. New Zealand up to 54. 11.2 overs gone. We'll stay around for the end of this over, then we'll wrap up. And as we said, we'll be back with a recap tomorrow. In again, Rashid pushed again out there. The man's come round a little, so it'll be a dot ball for Nichols. 23 from 33. So had 3 women's one-day internationals at the ground. Average score of 278. The highest total, 358 for 5. So it should be a reasonably batter-friendly wicket. So probably based on that, we're thinking 320 is probably your par mark, I would say. But again, first men's one-day on this surface and in this ground. As Nichols parries through a quick single. 43 dots so far. 8 fours, 2 twos and 17 ones as New Zealand move to none for 55. This one edged down through what would have been a slip cord. No slips in play, and Conway gets a single. Sweeper comes around from deep backward point to pick that up. Conway moves to 30. Score none for 56. One delivery to come in the 12th. Be interesting to see. The bounce should stay true here, but it will slow down later on and assist the spinners. So New Zealand's pace attack's going to have to make sure they make some inroads early. Well, that was an awkward shot, just poked back off the toe of the bat by Nichols. So we'll remain 56 for none after 12. So yeah, I'm going to say about 320 is going to be your pass mark here. Looks like that's very much a guesstimate, but we're going to wrap up here at New Zealand, none for 56. A good start for the Kiwis, but they need to go on with it is the big key here. Washington Sundar coming on for his third over here at the BCCI Stadium. Continuing to keep this run rate just under 5 and over the New Zealand side with tight bowling from the Indians. We'll be back with you tomorrow morning to recap this Australian time. It's going to be a cracker from here. Hello, Jay. Just in time for me to leave, my friend. Big thank you for you joining us. Sundar in for the first delivery here. Dot ball. And that will wrap us, guys. Big thank you. And we'll talk to you all soon. Thanks for tuning in for our series preview. There's no tests in this series, Jay. Just 3 one-days and 5 T20s. But thank you all for joining us. If you haven't already, make sure to hit like and subscribe. And we'll talk to you again very, very soon.